mas lalong klarong lumalabas na mas na napipikon na sila sa mga katulad ni Attorney Kapunan na magagaling na mga abogado at mas effective sa paglalahad ng mga testimonya ng mga witnesses na hindi nasasagot diretsa ng depensa.
May Facebook post po ulit si Congressman Paulo Duterte. Sumagot po siya doon sa statement kahapon, no, sa interview namin kay Attorney Lorna Kapunan with regards to the culture of violence. Sabi po ni Kong Pulong, si Attorney Lorna yung parang tinatawag na marites ng impeachment daw po. Tapos binanatan pa rin niya yung nangyayaring proceedings. Ang sabi nga po niya predetermined narrative na daw po, no, yung kumbaga pinag-uusapan na yung mga ebidensya po na inilalatag ng prosecution. Hayaan daw po na gawin ng trabaho ng mga abogado ni VP Sara yung para maipagtanggol daw po siya, kaya hindi po kailangan humarap, no, ni VP Sara. Pero yun nga po, may banat po siya doon kay Attorney Lorna with regards to the term marites daw po.
Jay.
The problem is I didn't see that post, you know. I'm trying to search for it actually after you said it. I'm more curious about what he said about yung predetermined narrative, no? Maybe you could give more context what he meant about that.
If I can read the statement.
Yeah, sure, Vibs. Thank you, Vibs.
Sabi po ni Representative Paulo Duterte, speedy trial does not mean speedy surrender to a predetermined narrative.
No, because yung all other matters niya about attacks against Attorney Kapunan, etc., I don't want to comment on that anymore, no. But because I just mentioned that, if I'm not sure, no, because I haven't seen the entirety of the statement, but if it gives the impression that by saying it's a predetermined narrative, you know, if he's saying that it seems the matter has been prejudged already by the impeachment court, you know, that's the thing that I may have an issue with, no, consistent with our reaction, no, dun sa naging statement ni VP Sara about bending the law happening in the impeachment proceedings, no. Kung, again, I'm not sure if that's what he meant, but if that's what, you know, the message, you know, that he's trying to give, that this has been prejudged already, then that's dangerous again, because that could be an attack, no, against the integrity of the court. And of course, we shouldn't say, no, na interested parties, no, shouldn't say that mukhang may decision na dito, no, impeachment court. Again, we have to respect institution, and maliwanag, may pagkakataon, magkabilang panig, magpresenta ng ebidensya para ang mga senator judges ay bigay ng hatol, no, batay sa mga ebidensya na ito. So again, maybe I'll try to go over the statement also while Kong Zia chimes in also.
Well, I'm not gonna defend Attorney Kapunan because she can ably defend herself, no? Pero isa lang ang masasabi ko. Kaya ata nila sinisingle out ngayon si Attorney Kapunan kasi talagang magaling siya, no? She was able to elicit information from the witnesses that strengthened the case against the Vice President, no? Personal attacks saying na marites would not help not only the case of the defense, but it will not help the entirety of the proceedings, no, by focusing on the merits of the case, no? Ganun lang. Sa akin lang, kung meron mga ganitong pananalita, mga ad hominem attacks on the personality and how she views individual prosecutors, that's her opinion, but it will not answer the allegations. It will not be a a way to counter the allegations, much less provide an answer to increasing questions surrounding the misuse of the confidential funds of the OVP. So if we dwell on this kind of talk, itong mga gutter talk, I think it will not sufficiently address the questions that are now being asked of the OVP. Neither would it help the defense case to defend the respondent. Mas lalong klarong lumalabas na mas na napipikon na sila sa mga katulad ni Attorney Kapunan na magagaling na mga abogado at mas effective sa paglalahad ng mga testimonya ng mga witnesses na hindi nasasagot diretsa ng depensa.
Sorry, last na lang po talaga, super last na. Kung Zia, baka may comment ka lang po doon sa ang sinasabi po, according to reports, na pag-recant or pagbawi po ng salaysay ni Orly Guteza na siya po ay nag-deliver ng mali-maletang pera kay former Speaker Romualdez. And ng mga nakalipas po kasi, di ba, may tatlo din po na sinasabing dating members ng Maleta Boys na nag-recant din po ng kanilang salaysay na nagdawit naman po sa inyong mga kasamahan, including some of the prosecutors. Now, sa mga ganito pong pangyayari na may mga nagre-recant ng kanilang mga salaysay, naniniwala po ba kayo na lalo pa pong nade-debunk yung mga issues versus the prosecutors na binabato po ng mga tagapagtanggol ni Vice President Sara Duterte na tumanggap nga raw po sila ng mali-maletang pera? Thank you po.
Well, tama kasi kung gagamitin po natin yung naging statement po ni Senator Robin Padilla nung una pong tinalakay yung Las Cañas affidavit niya sa ICC, ang sabi po niya ay ba't tayo maniniwala sa isang sinungaling, yung paiba-iba yung testimonya. So that is something that we can also apply in this case, baka kinakain na sila ng kanilang konsensya dahil wala naman talaga silang ebidensya at wala naman talagang katotohanan yung mga kanilang pinagsasabi. So yun lang po yung ating that's the basic conclusion that we can draw from the recantation of some of the accusers, dyan sa mga sinasabing Maleta Boys, but it would definitely be something that would definitely debunk their own allegations, kasi sila mismo ang pinanggalingan nitong impormasyon at sila mismo ang bumabawi. So whatever is the reason, mukhang kinakain nga sila ng kanilang konsensya, but since the ombudsman has taken over this case, let the ombudsman appreciate the effects of the recantation of some of the accusers, some of the Maleta Boys.
Salamat po.
Gino, if I could just again clarify my statement, I tried to read very quickly the statement made. So, hindi masyadong maliwanag, kasi yung ibig sabihin dito, when he said, simple lang ang sagot, speedy trial does not mean speedy surrender to predetermined narrative, So, if by predetermined narrative, if he was referring to the prosecution's theory, then we agree that, of course, no one's saying that, or we've been consistently saying that we should also listen to the evidence that the defense may present at the appropriate time, if any. So, maliwanag naman yan. Respeto naman natin yung oportunidad nila, since they have the right to due process. Right now, their right to cross-examine our witnesses, and afterwards, for the defense to present their own evidence. But kung ang ibig sabihin nito nung predetermined narrative is at what I've stated a while ago, kung meron yung if it gives the impression na meron the senator judges have already prejudged this matter, that regardless of what will be presented, they already have decision in mind, then that's what's troubling, which, as I've stated, interested parties should avoid making that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Haji. Thank you po. Pakinggan po naman natin si Vivian. Vivian, go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon po. Isa pong paglilinaw dun sa speedy trial, Attorney Tolosa. Bale, sinasabi po ba ninyo na si Vice President, sinasabi niya that she wants a speedy trial pero kabaligtaran yung ginagawa ng kanyang defense team?
Hindi naman in that general sense, no, na we're not, again, we want to make it clear that we've never accused them of intentionally delaying the case, no? At hindi naman namin sinasabing lahat ng action nila ay is causing this, no, it's delaying the proceedings. But what we've stated is it cannot be denied. There are several instances already, no, where their inactions have led to delays. No, we've been pointing this out a lot of times already, from magmula dun sa pre-trial, no, na doon pa lamang they refused to compare their documents with us, no, with ours. Kaya nga nangyari, nung presenta na natin yung mga testigo, we'll identify these documents, sila Attorney Roderick Wamil, Zylen Del Campo, nakita natin nagkaroon ng delays, no? So that's what we're saying. So kung pare-pareho natin gusto to, then let's all be on the same page. At maganda din na iwasan ang anumang bagay na makapag-cause ng delay.
And then, were you saying that the Vice President's physical presence is not necessary for a speedy trial?
What I said was, we recognize, no, what's provided under the rules with respect to her physical presence, no. Nakalagay naman dyan, when she is summoned by the court to appear, no, and as reflected in that summons issued by the court, she was given the opportunity or given the option to choose between attending in person or through counsel, and she chose the latter. Kaya nga sinasabi natin, no, with respect to the procedure, we respect that, no? We recognize that, at hindi namin sinasabing may linalabag siya procedurally, no? Because tama naman yung sinasabi niya, no, binigyan siyang option, no? We recognize that. But ang sinasabi lang namin, just the same, considering the gravity of the allegations made against her, we understand where the public sentiment is coming from, na mas maganda she should attend para pakita niya yung respeto niya sa proceedings na to.
Opo. So makakabilis po ba o hindi kung makakadalo po ng personal ang bise?
Dun sa makakabilis o hindi, that's a completely different matter from whether, it would be appropriate for her to attend, just to show respect for the proceedings and to the institution of the Senate sitting as an impeachment court.
Kong Zia, do you have a view on this?
Well, but consistent naman po yung ating panawagan. It's a reflective of the public sentiment, no? Now that the burden of proof has shifted to the defense by virtue of the testimony and answer of Ms. Gina Acosta, when she clearly described the way the arrangement made between her and Colonel Lachica, it was the Vice President who ordered her to transfer the 125 million pesos to Colonel Lachica. That would mean that at this point in time, the explanation can only be provided by Ms. Gina Acosta is the transfer. But as to why it was transferred, why it was decided, that kind of arrangement, it was only the Vice President can supply the answer. This case, kung ang ating taong bayan gusto nila ng ganong klaseng explanation, only the Vice President can explain. How can she explain if she's not attending her own trial?
Okay. Dito naman po sir sa witnesses list. Si Ramil Madriaga, napag-usapan na po ba ng prosekusyon kung ipipresenta po siya o hindi?
It's a continuing discussion and deliberation. No, again, as you stated, all decisions with respect to witness selection, no, these are based on what are the evidence that we need to present and what we have presented already. what based on our estimation, what are the important matters that we've already been able to prove, So that applies not just with respect to Madriaga, it applies to all of the other witnesses. So continuing analysis yan. So tapusin muna namin itong kay Acosta. Of course, especially these are hostile witnesses. We don't know for sure what they will say. So kailangan marinig muna namin lahat ng ma-elicit natin na important admissions from her, pagkatapos naman si Ginoong Fajarda and then Mr. Ortonio. And after that, just like what we've been doing from the start, we'll assess again kung sino pa yung mga susunod na kailangan niyo po.